This is Mike Ricker with Crash Rhinos Painting, and today's featured home is a home that is in the North Phoenix area in the Norterra HOA neighborhood. It was built in 2011, is 1,505 square feet, single story. And we got a call from the homeowner in early February, primarily concerned about the fading that had begun to occur on her house. It was actually the original paint, which is actually is quite a long time for what we call a new build paint job. Oftentimes, depending on the color, that will last about 4 to 5 years is all before you start having some issues on here. So this has been 11 years for this homeowner, and we certainly did see some of that fading and other items going on. There was a couple other issues as well, some garage door trim that she was concerned about as well. So we went out and did our proposal, our walk around, our estimate, center of the proposal, which goes over all of the items in there, how we do our preparation, and including what we call a pre-production inspection report. We began to pull back rocks, pressure washing, repairs on stucco and drywall, some minor repairs on wood that we will also do in there, as far as repairing garage door trim as well. So she actually chose us, a little unusual. She actually selected us about 2 hours after we got that. So most often we get it the next day or sometime within a few days. And our normal lead time right now is about 90 days for painting. But we were able, just through some things in the schedule, to be able to get her in just into early March. So it was about 30 days that we were able to get her done. You can see this first picture right here is where you can see some of the fade. It's a little hard to see, but it has kind of almost this pinkish, a little bit of a maybe mauve-y kind of color in there. The garage door, certainly you can see some of that fade that is going on with that darker brown in there. But this is a 3-color house. The body is the primary color. Fascia is a secondary color, and the pop-outs are a 3rd color, with doors being an additional color and sheen as well. So we're going to get started in here. The final colors as we get there let me get to those real quick. So the final color was, the body was a Sherwin-Williams color. Now, just a special note on this. We use Dunn Edwards products exclusively, and even within that manufacturing line, we use the product Evershield exclusively as well. That is their most premium paint that they use. But with that, we are able, Dunn Edwards is able to make everybody else's colors. Actually, all manufacturers are able to make other manufacturers' colors. So Dunn Edwards can make Sherwin-Williams colors, Sherwin-Williams can make Dunn Edwards colors, and so forth. So this one was actually a Sherwin-Williams color, SW6071. Popular gray is what it's going to end up being. What you're seeing right now is the initial color. The secondary color, which is the fascia and flashing, is an SW6075 Garrett gray. And then the 3rd color is a SW6074 Spalding gray, with the doors being an SW2848 Roycroft pewter. So you'll see that on front door, the back door, and the garage door as well. Also on this house, we did replace the garage door trim. We will get to that in a minute. One interesting note about the colors in the gray spectrum, they can be very difficult to work with. And because everybody says, well, I'd like something a little gray. But because you can have red hues or a little blue or a green hue within gray, it can be very, very difficult to narrow down that color. So that was one of the things that Kim my wife, one of the owners of the company, was able to help this homeowner with was to talk to her specifically about what she was looking for and to help narrow down the actual color that would be appropriate for her, and that was also allowed within the Norterra HOA guidelines for colors there. So we're going to get started here. We're going to have this second picture. You'll see a little bit of that side wall. Again, a little bit of that pinky. This is actually not the original. It's the original paint, but that tint has so faded over time. The way the color that it looks is a bit different. You'll see garage door trim. I'm going to try to blow this up down here. And you can see right down there at the bottom where we have some garage door trim failure. Some of the rubber was actually starting to give way as well and erode. Plus we were having it to be able to pull away. So the homeowner opted in this case to have us replace that trim. As we continue to go down here, you can see where you had that 3-color scheme going on. Again, down at the bottom panels of that garage door where you can see quite a bit of fade and just chalking that's kind of going on in there. Overall, the home was still in excellent condition. It just needed a paint job. It had been quite a bit of time. Little picture of the eaves here going on. Very little problems with the eaves. Oftentimes we can see excessive peeling on those, and if we do have that, we'll use a product called Peel Bond on there to help do that. Picture of the back of the house. Lighting is not great on here, but you can see where you have some of the color differences as well in here. The project also include there are different types of walls: pony walls, equipment walls, retaining walls. So this is actually an equipment wall hiding the pool equipment, which was included as well. You'll see this pool here and some of the equipment. These are actually photos from the initial estimate, not when we were starting the job. As we began the job, actually all of those items there, those chairs, the items, the couches, it's a little hard to see under the little covered area there. They all get moved out and covered with plastic, as well as the pavers and the pool. We want to make sure everything is protected in there. Here's again the pool. That would all be protected before we start painting. One of the things that we do note is when we start a job, we want to just advise the homeowner some of the things that we see. And so there was from the original paint job some overspray on the concrete near that stem wall. We had found that the doorbell that had been put in was a little loose, but it was operational. So we assisted in getting that put back in correctly. We want to, as we send these notes to people, to know that one of the things we don't wash with the pressure washer is the service disconnect is what it's called in there. So we want to steer clear of that. We do clean that, but we do that by hand. Some of the other things, you'll see a little bit of that overspray on the window. This is a really good photo as well. Right next to that arrow, you can also see a stress fracture. Very common along windows. And so those would all be included in the repair process. It's a little bit more repair on those, or the overspray on those windows there. One of the tough things about ceiling fans in Arizona, you can see how these blades have now kind of drooped. I am not sure exactly what it is. I believe that it's just over time, the material that these are made of, they lose their rigidity. So we just want to point that out to them as, it's not anything that happened in the painting process, but that fan needs to have some new fan blades put on as well. Again, you can see the colors right now in there. That back door, you'll see some photos of that once we're done with some new color schemes on there. One of the things that we also do is we want to check all of the outside GFI outlets, because we will, in our process, we use electric sprayers and we want to be very aware of the fact that we don't cause any problems. So before we do anything, we want to make sure that they're all working correctly, and we include that in our report as well. So here's an interesting thing. This is actually the inside of the garage. Many, not all, but many garages in Arizona have garage door vents. One on the top, one on the bottom. I think it just helps to get less stale air in there, maybe a little bit of just airflow coming in and out. The problem with that is not so much when you're pressure washing, you'll get some water in there, which you don't want to do. But when you're painting, actually paint can go through those little vents. And if you have a really nice brand new $80,000 Tesla sitting in there, you'll have nice little paint flecks all over it. And we don't want that. So we actually tape the inside of the garage vents to prevent any overspray from water or paint. You can see the lower one there. So this is a photo of the the new garage door trim. You can see actually on here the gray that's in back of that. So what we do is remove the existing trim after we've pressure washed the garage door, and then we paint about a 2 or 3 inch strip around the garage door, let it dry appropriately, and then install the new garage door trim. Otherwise, if we don't do it that way, some of the old color, that brown, can show through if that garage door shifts at all. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And then we get it all caulked in, and then it gets painted from there. We are going down here, showing you a little bit of dry lock that is applied then to the stem wall, and an example of the windows that get taped here as well. We want to make sure everything's covered and protected, so we're plasticking out on that driveway. Photo of one of our guys actually applying with a small roller on that stem wall. That helps. Dry lock actually is primarily used in areas of the country for waterproofing basements. But what we found is that down low, even though there's not a lot of rain in Arizona, that can actually damage that stem wall. So this helps to prevent further damage from occurring. Another quick shot of us in the back area where you can see we're taping off lights and fans and some of those things. Now we're getting to some of the final color. So this is those back doors actually painted the new color in there. That equipment wall as well. There you go. How about that? What a great shot of the backyard. Really beautiful color. We also do things, fire pits, barbecues, those things as well. Good shot of the back, another angle there. One that we're finishing up that front where you can see that front garage door, the new color as well. Some of the doors with the new color. Those are all done in semi-gloss paint. One is we're beginning to finish up, and we've got the front there with pop-outs done as well. And the final picture right there. So again, this is the after photo. And let me bring up that before photo here as well. And before. So what a beautiful job. Homeowner was very pleased. We're grateful for them. They gave us a great 5-star review on Google. And we hope the best for them and hope they enjoy their new paint job. Have a great day.